Hey guys! Welcome back to my channel and thank you so much for watching this video. Today ang pag-uusapan natin ay ang mga bagay na kailangan mo when you were still starting out as a plant parent or if you're still a beginner PlanTito or PlanTita. So, let's get it started. So hey guys, yun na nga, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome to the PlanTito channel. I'm your PlanTito Earl. And yun nga, today ang pag-uusapan natin are the things that you will need to help you out in raising your plant babies. And thank you so much sa lahat ng mga nanood na so far ng mga videos na in-upload ko. They really help out a lot. Every view counts, every like, every subscribe, every share that you do really helps. So please do continue watching the videos I produce. I try to produce at least one video every week. If you like this video, please hit the thumbs up. Hit subscribe, click the bell if you want to be notified on my next videos. And follow me also on social media. So yun. So going back, we are going to discuss ang mga things na kailangan nyo so that to help you out in taking care of your plants. Now these things, karamihan sa kanila hindi naman sila mahirap hanapin. Yung iba nga actually libre, which I'll get to later kung alin yung mga libre na pwede nyo gamitin. And then, hindi naman sila mahal. Madali lang sila hanapin. Pwede nyo silang bilhin sa mga hardwares, sa mga big box hardwares, sa mga local hardware nyo na malapit sa area nyo, sa mga gardening or agri-vet supply stores, available yan. And even online, madaling-madali nyo sila mahanap doon. Itong mga gamit na to, I'll be classifying them into three just so that they're easier to remember. And those three are, first is the non-negotiables, meaning kailangan nyo itong mga to kasi kung wala itong mga to, chances are hindi mabubuhay yung mga halaman nyo. Pangalawa is the must-haves. These are the things that will really help out in your day-to-day gardening, intending after your plants. And then yung pangatlo are the special needs. Hindi sila daily gagamitin or hindi naman sila super urgently kailangan. They have special needs, kaya ganun yung classification. So let's run down the list. Starting with the first, non-negotiables. Now the non-negotiables, actually ito yung mga libre lang kung tutusin. They're naturally occurring and these are the things that your plants would really need in order for them to thrive, para lumaki sila. Kung meron kang flowering plants, para mamulaklak sila. Kung meron kang fruit-bearing trees or plants, para magbunga sila ng fruits. And these two are, number one, sunlight. Ito, sobrang libre na to. Lalo na sa atin, maswerte tayo, nasa Pilipinas tayo. Kasi wala tayo nung concept ng 4 seasons. So all year round, meron naman tayong araw. It's just a matter of siguro availability in your indoor space. Kasi for example, if you have a big house, most likely yung indoor space nyo kaya maging maliwanag. You can afford to have big windows, as in floor-to-ceiling windows of purely glass, so nakakapasok ng araw. It's like in my case, medyo hindi naman ganun, medyo abundant naman yung sunlight. Kasi I have both east-facing and west-facing windows. So all throughout the day, lalo na kung maaraw, it's a sunny day, lalo na pag summer, sobrang liwanag ng unit ko, as in wala akong naka-on na ilaw. In some cases, like siguro if you're a condo dweller, lalo na kung let's say interior unit ka, kasi diba yung ibang condo buildings, meron silang exterior unit, meaning as in nasa facade siya ng building, so may access siya to direct sunlight, depending on the direction it's facing. Meron din mga interior units, so very limited yung sunlight flow. Now, if you're one of those, I'm not too confident about your chances of growing plants. But there are ways, dun yun sa special needs. I'll discuss that later. So just make sure you have to be familiar with the lighting or with the sunlight situation in your place. If you have abundant or wala ka namang problem dun, go ahead, feel free to grow and get as many plants as you can manage. So that's for number one. Number two is the water. So it's, again, essentially libre siya. Although, binabayaran natin siya monthly, pero maliit lang naman generally yung halaga nun. So, hindi naman siya ganun kabigat sa bulsa. So, essentially, nagiging libre siya. It's just a matter of what kind of water that you have for your plants. Now, generally naman, most plants are fairly tolerant to the type of water that we have. And yung water naman namin, hindi naman siya ganun ka-hard. Siyempre, yung water na kukuha natin sa mga gripo natin, treated din with chemicals, ganyan, para lang mas maging malinis siya. Now, some plants can tolerate that, okay lang sa kanila yun. Although there are some other plants na medyo maselan sila when it comes to water. One example would be Calathea. I'll show you an example of that. Namatay na ako ng Calathea before because of my water. And this is my second and probably my last Calathea. This is a Calathea lancifolia. Kung makikita nyo, it's struggling. Mag-isa na lang siya. Itong leaves to dati when I bought it a couple of months ago. But hindi talaga siya agreeable sa water namin dito. Ironic kasi binili kita sa QC Circle and same naman ng supplier ng water in QC Circle and dito. So I don't know. So there's some plants that are not tolerant to chemicals in the water. So you just have to be mindful of that. So yeah, so rundown ulit. There are only two things that are non-negotiable. You need sunlight and water. Readily available, it's free, it's just a matter of how much is available or what kind of water is available. The second category is the must-haves. So these things, again, walang mahal dito. Pinakamahal ko na sa lahat ng gamit ko or siguro maximum ko na is 500 pesos. These things, itong mga must-haves, magagamit mo sila daily when it comes to monitoring the health and wellness of your plants. Let's start with this, a watering can. Siyempre pandilig, kailangan mo yun. Me, I got a slightly bigger one kasi nga marami akong halaman. You can get a smaller one kung konti lang naman. Pwede naman kayo baso-baso lang, tabo-tabo lang, pero siyempre hassle yun. So it's good na you have this para isang refill lang, lagay nyo na, dilig na kayo. And you can also mix your fertilizer, or if you're using fertilizer, you can mix it here. This one is a 2-liter watering gallon. This is plastic. You can use stainless steel, you can use glass, your choice. To me, it doesn't really matter. So that's for number one. Then the next item, speaking still of watering, is this moisture meter. Actually, this is a 3-in-1 probe. It measures moisture, or the soil moisture, the soil pH, and the light that you are getting. Ang pinaka ginagamit ko to is for the moisture. Kasi ako heavy-handed ako when it comes to watering. Heavy-handed meaning, grabe mo magdilig. The moisture meter really helps in letting you know if it's time to water or not. If nasa moist or so wet pa siya, if you can see, that means huwag mo nang diligan. But if it's already in the drier side, like this, I'll show you. This is a Pulis, I forget, this is an autograph 3 autograph plant. I haven't watered this yet, so it's showing that it's dry. So it's time to water this soon. Meanwhile, in this case, this Scindapsus pictus, I watered this kanina, or kahapon, nirepot ko siya, then diniligan ko na rin. Just place it inside. Medyo malapit sa roots, and it shows it's very wet kasi nilunod ko siya kahapon. So that's kasi nga I repotted it. So yun. So this one doesn't need to be watered yet. This one definitely needs water. So super dry na siya. Diligan mo na agad. So, di ba yung mga madalas nakikita nyo na methods for other vloggers, they say stick your finger into the soil about 2 inches deep. But for me, kasi minsan yung water, lalo na if your pot isn't draining well enough, yung water nasa stock up siya sa ilalim. Hindi mo ma-feel na super moist pa pala siya sa baba, kahit na medyo dry na siya sa taas. So ang ending niya, it might result in root rot, which we are trying to avoid as much as possible. Next naman are pruning materials. You can use any scissors or like these gardening shears. I use these to prune off dying leaves. Pag medyo madilaw na sila, like as in kitang-kita mo na yung difference from the original color, inugupit ko na sila kasi it really helps your plants. Pruning them, if you might think na medyo counterproductive siya, it actually isn't. Pruning them does many things. One, it makes the plant look better kasi wala na siyang yellow or brown or dead leaves. Two, when you prune it, it gives yung energy na pinoproduce ng plants, they don't go to the dying or dead leaf anymore. At least makakonserve and magagamit niyo yung energy na yun to use to grow new ones or to grow the existing ones. And three, parang meron siyang I forget the name of the chemical, but every time you prune a plant, some plants do this, they release a certain chemical which parang it alarms them to, hey, we need, naputulan tayo, we need to grow even more. Kahit na minsan masakit, I know it really hurts kung magpuprune ka, but it helps them more than you think it does. Para silang buko. Di ba, the more that you cut off or you shave your hair, mas kumakapal sila. It's the same with plants. Ganun yung nangyayari sa So yeah, next naman, another must-have would be a trowel. This would really come in handy if you have bigger plants. When you're repotting them, when you're trying to do something with the soil, this really helps. Iba't ibang sizes available na to, so just pick the size that you think would be perfect for your needs. In my case, this would be enough repotting, changing the pots, ganyan, and mixing the soil. So this would really help. Kasi dati nagsimula ako, kutsara lang gamit. Promise. And now I'm using this trowel and it really helps. The next would be fertilizer. I'll show you the types of fertilizer that I have. I have them here in my mega box. If you have pets, having yung mga chemicals nyo or medyo harmful to your pets, put them in a mega box or somewhere na hindi nila maaalungkat kasi it might be harmful to your pets. But I have two types of fertilizer. I have this solid, complete 14-14-14 fertilizer. Mabili ko to sa PC Circle. This is a slow release fertilizer which has NPK, yun naman yung usual na kailangan ng plants. NPK meaning sodium, potassium, and phosphorus. Chemistry. Anyway, so yun, binubudbud mo lang to sa soil ng plant mo. Konti lang, don't overdose it. Slow release naman siya. Every time magdidilig ka lang pag umagos yung water to it, saka siya mag-release ng nutrients into the soil. And then on the other hand, I have these liquid fertilizers. I'm not going to show the brand anymore. It's a mix, so halo mo lang sila sa water mo. I do this once every month. Saka ako nagpa-fertilize. Because again, you don't want to overdose your plants. So you'll know na it's fertilizer burn because it's coming from the middle. Usually kasi pag overwatering or underwatering, yung yellowing is start from the edges. Pero if it's a fertilizer or chemical-related injury or na-overdose sila ng fertilizer mo, it starts from the middle and then mag-spread throughout the plant. So just be careful, follow the instructions or the dosage on the fertilizer that you use. Next naman are pots. I actually have a lot of them. Some from my past plants, some I bought. Gusto kasi may supply ako. I also have hanging pots na kulang siya na. These would be helpful for when you have to repot some plants. Tip lang about repotting, especially if you're buying a new plant. You have to acclimate your plant. Give it at least 1 or 2 weeks to get used to the new environment before you repot them. So for example, this guy, this is a baby Monstera Deliciosa seedling that I've had. This has been in the nursery bag for more than 2 weeks now. Ayoko muna siya i-repot kasi natatakot ako. Kasi it's still a baby, it's very delicate. And now we move on to the last category, which are the special needs. Sorry, may nagbebenta ng ice cream. So these are the special needs items that would be good to have as well. But again, super special needs sila, meaning you only use them in certain special situations. So let's start with propagation media. Propagation media meaning these are the things that you use if you want to propagate your plants. Usually, ang best to use dyan would be glass. Any kind of glass really. Kasi it's water, hindi siya harmful to your plants. Kasi ilalagay mo siya sa water para mag-root siya. For example, this is my Tibatim or Epiprenum pinatum. I don't know if it's dragon's tail. So this has been propagating in water for I don't know how long. Super rooted na siya. If you see, I don't know if you can see it. Dahil nasa Pilipinas tayo and rainy season na ngayon as I'm filming this, always make sure that the water inside is clean. I replaced the water of this inside kanina lang, just before I was filming. Because pwede silang pamugaran ng lamok. So you don't want this to stagnate. One, it's also not helpful to your plants. Syempre, you want to provide fresh and clean water supply to your plants. For another, once naging stagnant water siya, pwede siyang pamugaran ng lamok. You don't want that. You don't want to fall a victim to them. So yeah, next naman, speaking of propagation, another thing that you would also want to consider is this guy. This is rooting hormone. You add this in water or sometimes you dip your plant into it to help promote rooting, especially when you're trying to propagate. This would really help. Since this is concentrated chemicals, make sure to follow yung instructions or yung dosage or else your propagation won't make it. Kasi nga, it's too concentrated. You don't want that. And then another chemical that I use is this guy. This one naman is more like natural way. It's a natural fungicide or pesticide. I'm using neem oil extract. Better if you get a cold pressed neem oil extract. They say, I researched, it says it's way better than not cold compressed and it's more effective. It's a very helpful insecticide, fungicide, and miticide. So if may mga pest infestations, this would really help. My Monstera, actually, this guy right here, I treated it with this. It was able to stop the fungicide. And if you're trying to propagate root nodes or medyo making victim of root rot, it will be helpful in preventing the spread of that root rot. So usually oil, you could also get this. Then another one is strings. I actually have a lot of these. Madami katabar. I'll just show you two. This is jute, this is cotton. I use these for my trailing or vining plants like this Nocera. I use it to tie it to a pole, or I actually use it to create the poles. Like this guy. This bipinifolium, this philodendron bipinifolium or horsehead guineas. You'll see this is kawayan lang. Actually no, this is a stick. Kahoy lang siya na kinuha ko from outside. May malaking puno kasi doon and it's fairly straight. Binalot ko lang siya ng rope just so that may medyo mas kumapit yung roots ng philodendron bipinifolium. It's starting to clear. Next naman is humidifier. I have one right here. Again, special case lang siya. In my case, I think I need it because I live in a studio and naka-aircon ako paggabi. I only turn it on naman paggabi, and this is helpful especially if you have plants that require a lot of humidity, like my philodendrons. That's why this humidifier is here to make sure that this glorious right here gets enough humidity. If yung mga plants nyo naman, they don't need a lot of humidity, you don't need the humidifier. Air conditioners usually dry out, inaalis sila yung humidity in the air. Kaya nga sila tumutulo, if you'll notice. Kaya tumutulo ng water, they're absorbing the humidity from your air, replacing it with a cooler, drier air. And the last one, grow lights. As I've told you, hindi naman ganun kasagana ng ilaw tong unit ko. But the grow lights would really help you out if you're lacking the necessary light to provide your plants for their growth. In my case, I've already installed grow lights all over, and I also installed smart plugs on them para timed yung nila pag-on nila. I set it na 5 p.m. Start na sila. They'll turn on at 5 p.m. kasi medyo dark na. Sunset na siya. And then, it will turn off by 12 midnight. That's usually the time that I go to sleep. And then, pag medyo tulog na ako, I set it to turn on again by around 2 a.m. And then, they turn off at 5 a.m. I turn them on pag medyo makulimlim or if it's a rainy day. I also turn them on. So those are the 3 kinds of things that you need. The non-negotiables, the must-haves, and the special needs. Again, you don't need to buy all of these all at once. You can buy them as you go, or siguro as you grow your collection of plants. And then again, mura lang itong mga to, readily available, so you shouldn't be intimidated about getting them. So if you like this video, please hit the thumbs up. And then please don't forget, if you haven't, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Every subscription really helps. And if you have more ideas on things that you want me to do or to talk about in this channel, please let me know in the comment section below. And if you also want to share this video, that really helps. So please share it on your social media pages and follow me on my social media pages. So there, once again, I'm your PlanTito Earl. This is the PlanTito channel. And thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Bye-bye.